So, hello everyone. Once again, welcome to my show. This show is extremely special for me. If you have been around and professionally active, it is highly likely that you have been on LinkedIn. If you haven't been, please check. Your address might be Mars or Jupiter. Right. So, most people around are currently very active on LinkedIn. But what we hear very often is that, in spite of India being the second largest market after US for LinkedIn in terms of number of people registered, pound by pound or kg by kg, since we are in India, we are the least active and least engaged. Right? Chances are the 1,500 people who registered for this session, yes, 1,500 people registered for this session, did it in a moment of self-awareness and confession that they were not using the platform the way they wanted to or they thought they can. And of course there would be quite a few who see others using it better and want to get there. No harm in that. We all are doing that in our lives, right? So I'm delighted that I could bring to you this show, which has been probably the most requested topic over the last year or so when I started doing these shows. So I welcome you to this show, your show, Manage Better. I'm your host, Anshuman Tiwari. And on this channel, I invite speakers, consultants, authors, and coaches to share their lessons on getting better. We all have no control on where we start in life, no control on where we were born, where, in what situation, what we got as education early on. But we certainly can control our journey. Where are we going? Where are we today and where are we going? And we can get better every day, every month, every year. That's my motto. So this channel is all about bringing skills, methods which can help all of us get better, and you get better while I get better, and share it with each other kind of a approach, right? And I primarily focus, as you will realize during the show, around the why and what of skills that help us get better, right? There is a reason I don't focus on how, is because how is a personal discovery. You will discover the how that works best for you, and there are quite a few people who are doing shows around how. So my focus is more on why and what. Like I said, today's show is very dear to me, using LinkedIn for personal branding. So let me bring, so this topic is, as I said, extremely dear to me, using LinkedIn for personal branding. I have often believed that, we are our own brand, and, using LinkedIn is one of the ways of improving our brand today. There are, of course, many other ways. This is not the only way. But we will focus today on using LinkedIn. Many from the audience have asked me how I have used LinkedIn to improve my brand, and I'm not saying that my brand is anything great today, but it is certainly better than what it was last year and the previous year. So I decided that I'll bring some experts, and since I wasn't an expert, and before I get to the guest today, so let me bring in our first guest for the day today, Sakshi. Hi, Sakshi.
Hi, thank you so much, Anshuman, for having me here.
Just a quick introduction for you, Sakshi. So, Sakshi Chandrakar is a personal and career branding coach and works with freshers, professionals, and freelancers to turn them into brands. We'll hear from her more about in the show. And these brands then can go and attract amazing jobs and career growth opportunities. She has developed courses and also coaches live. She's also on a mission to help 100,000 job seekers and professionals become career ready. She's a teacher to the core that you will notice during this show. And if you want to follow her work, where else? Follow her on LinkedIn, connect with her, follow her, have a look at her work. So, Sakshi, over to you for some opening comments.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and it's my favorite topic, so I can go on and on and on, but I know that we only have limited time, so I'll restrict myself. So yeah, it's amazing, and the topic is so relevant, to the point, and is so needed today, Anshuman. So thank you for bringing me here and allowing me to share my views on LinkedIn and on personal branding.
I'll bring in the next guest, Sriram. Sriram is a coach and facilitator who works with organizations and individuals, primarily are using, new age training methods and transformation methods, helping people transform their visual and written communication from conversation to gainversation. Like me, Sriram is a LinkedIn enthusiast, but unlike me, he's very good. Right. So if you follow him, you will know that his posts are extremely engaging and unique. So welcome, Sriram, and any opening comments?
Sure, Anshuman. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Good morning, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, and that's for two reasons. One is I've always been watching what Anshuman does, And Manage Better is a wonderful platform which focuses on something very simple. How do we get better each day, each week, each month? So that's the first thing that kind of attracted me to come on this show. The second thing is the topic itself is so relevant because in today's age, you call it the digital world, the hybrid world, etc., etc. Not only is managing your own self at a personal level offline important, but also managing yourself better online is also extremely important. So I guess it's a great opportunity to share what little I have learned. And thanks again, Anshuman, for having me on the show.
Sure. Thank you both. Let's get into the show. The show that I try to put together today, like I said in the introduction, what can you expect today is basically the why and what of personal branding and LinkedIn. The why and what is extremely important. Like I said in the introduction, that you can find your how, you can find the details, and you will probably discover your own way of detailing out on your own. That may be very unique to you. But the why is extremely important. Why do you want to be on LinkedIn? Why do you want to use it? Towards what end? And those are the questions, those are the themes that we'll explore more in this session. And of course, if you want to know more, all the three speakers are available on LinkedIn. So those are the themes that we will explore in this session. Right? And this is not a listen-only show. So don't multitask while you're here. Get a pen and paper, make notes, then act on them, and then let each one of us know what we did about that. Right? So with that, to the questions, and let me bring the first question to you, Sakshi. You are a personal branding coach and expert. Why personal branding at all?
Thank you so much. Interesting question. We all are actually looking for having fulfilling and successful careers. Okay? Irrespective of what field, what industry we are in, we are looking for, at the end of the day, this is what we all are looking for to live a successful and fulfilling life, if not just career. Okay? And branding, your personal brand, is that one thing which actually gets you or not gets you any kind of opportunities. So that's one big reason why personal branding is so needed. I'll explain what is a personal brand later, but as you rightly mentioned, it is about managing yourself every single day better. So it's about, we all are evolving as brands with every single experience, with every single learning. After this 60 minute of show, we are going to be a little different than what we are when we enter. Your brand is basically who you are for other people. What I am to Sriram and to Anshuman and for everybody who is watching here, that's my brand to you. It's not who I feel I am, it's who you feel I am. Okay, so your perception about me actually decides my future, my opportunities, my career, everything. And that's why I say brand is so important for you. If you handle it properly, you get a lot from how you are managing it. And if you do not focus on it, then you miss a lot. And you are a business of one. If you are not there, the business is not going to run. I mean, I'm not just saying that business as in business, but yes, your career, your life, it is you who is handling, it is you who is taking decision. And every single decision that you are taking, the choices that you are making, is leaving an impact on other people, and that's what brings you opportunities. So why branding is because you are here, in competition. It's a cutthroat competition today, hundreds and thousands and millions of people doing similar kind of work. So one way for you to distinguish yourself from everybody else is your branding. And yes, many other reasons, as I said, I can go on. There are hundreds of statistics why branding is important, but I'll give you very quickly a rule of career success, and that will simplify why branding. It's called 10, 30, and 60 rule. So 10% is what your performance is all about. So if you think that I will be working really hard, my performance is going to be awesome, and I will get success, think again, because your performance only plays 10% of role. The next 30% comes from your brand, what people think about you. The more they like you, the more they acknowledge you, the more they talk about you, is what brings you opportunity. So 30% success comes from your personal brand, and then rest 60% is your visibility. So if you have been thinking that your degree, your career, the work that you are doing, the hard work and the performance you are giving is going to be doing everything for you, think again. It's about your brand.
Really well said. And I like how you brought in the rule as well, because that's one thing that people look for is that what lessons others have discovered and found and learn from them. So thanks, Sakshi, for that. Ram, I think while Sakshi gave us a very good introduction to why personal branding is important, why LinkedIn. So what is unique about LinkedIn, which helps in this personal branding journey? What is unique and special about LinkedIn, and from a personal branding point of view?
Sure, Anshuman. I think there are two important points that stand out as far as LinkedIn is concerned. First is it's a professional networking site, and it sets itself distinct from the other sites that are there. So if you need professional networking, this is the place to be in. The second thing about LinkedIn is that there are almost 740 million users of LinkedIn, and about 300 million of these users use this platform regularly, in the sense they are logging into the platform at least once a week. And we have about billions of content being shared. Now, what I see as important is not these numbers. While these are big numbers, these are intimidating numbers. The sweet spot for all of us is, while there are 740 million people who share content on LinkedIn is hardly 3 million. Not more than 3 to 4 million people share content on a weekly basis. So you see how the funnel is virtually tapering down so drastically. From 740 million, you come down to 3 million. So we are in a level playing field of 3 million people, where we can not only be seen, but we can be heard. And that herd is building our visibility, as Sakshi said, engaging with people, sharing content, etc. Otherwise, you're part of the crowd. I mean, 740 million is a huge number. Anshuman is on LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn, Sakshi is on LinkedIn, big deal. But are we part of that 3 million who is making use of this opportunity to be seen and heard? Is what makes LinkedIn attractive for me as an individual. So that's my take on Shuma.
Sure, I think, and this is something that was needed to be said because, like many people in the audience today, and many of us may have been on LinkedIn for more than 15 years. I have certainly have been. The first 5, I didn't use it. The next 5, I dabbled with it. And for the next 5, I figured that, it's important. And there is a way, it's not very difficult to learn. So here we are, 3 of us, 2 of you who have been very, very engaged on this audience who will bring these lessons. So actually, moving on to the next question, we move from personal branding to why LinkedIn. A lot of people struggle with LinkedIn to start off. Millions of people that Sri mentioned that have an account but don't use it, are not doing anything about it, or post once a month, or only repost something, and then they struggle, right? So and they don't have a brand. What are your lessons or what are your quick tips for people?
Thank you. So even if we take them as a whole, because everybody's journey, of course, is going to be different. The time they enter, the time they start posting. However, as you said, knowing your why is more important, right? So this is the first thing that we need to find out: why LinkedIn, why we are on LinkedIn. What is it that you are looking for? Is it, and as the poll mentioned, that some people are here for job search, some people are just here to connect with people, to network and to share their learnings and learn from others. So the first and foremost thing, you already are a brand. As I mentioned, people talk about you, your capabilities, your potential, your knowledge and everything. So how do you want to present yourself on LinkedIn? So who you are, first of all. So I am a personal branding coach. Now I want to be on LinkedIn seen as a personal branding coach, and I want to attract opportunities and I want to serve my audiences here. So likewise, each person, irrespective of what age they are in, what work they are in, they need to identify who they are, why they want to be on LinkedIn, what is the purpose they want to serve, or what kind of opportunities they want to gain. So only once you know that, then you will be able to understand who you have to connect with, how your profile is going to look like, why people should connect with you. You need to give them a reason. So if Anshuman is there and Anshuman is doing certain work, just by looking at Anshuman's profile, we will get to know what is Anshuman all about, what kind of work is he doing, and then people will decide, whether to connect with Anshuman for work-related opportunities or just as a human being because they like his work or just want to connect with him. So every single person, if you are a starter, you are just entering the industry, corporate world, or even if you are not into corporates and you are a freelancer or an entrepreneur, know who you are first of all. Because once you set your profile on LinkedIn, once you start, people will start seeing you as how you are portraying yourself. So you need to know yourself. One, why are you here? So that you give that reason to people that I am here for this purpose. You need to say this loud to people because people are otherwise going to get hundreds of other messages from you, which you are not saying, but you are suggesting in some way or the other. And thirdly, by what are you doing here? Okay, so as Ashri very rightly mentioned, that there are millions of people, however, not many people are connecting. So just having a profile on LinkedIn is not serving any purpose. So LinkedIn algorithm doesn't work like that. It will only show you, you are not even searchable on LinkedIn if people come and connect with you. So it is important for you to be active, and it's a gold mine, I say. I've been on LinkedIn only last 2 years. Can you imagine that? I'm only last 2 year old on LinkedIn, and my journey has been amazing. I was literally blocked by LinkedIn in the first 8 months, and it's actually you are spamming people, so I had no idea how LinkedIn worked. And from there to now, some 73,000 followers, the journey has been amazing. But the only way I was able to pull this off is by creating content consistently and connecting and giving out the right message so that I connect with the right kind of people. And we are not here to sell to everybody, connect with everybody. So if you are for everybody, you are actually for nobody. So knowing your purpose is extremely important here. And based on that, you establish your profile on LinkedIn, and then you see the magic coming in.
I totally connect with this. Like I said, I've had a 15-year journey, but 555. And last five also has been pretty much one and a half, one and a half. And I can distinctly see the phases. And like many people said in the poll as well, if you are here to, gain and share knowledge, that's your why. If you are here to get a job, that's your why. Very well said about in general how we can leverage this, and the key part, Sakshi, that I figured out from your brief comments is that consistency is extremely important. There are quite a few people who come to me, and I'm sure come to you as well, and that I posted, and I got 7 likes, and I'm not here for 7. So I already have 500 people in my network. Not even they even they did not like it for them, right? The most important thing is that even if you crowd was extremely likable, which itself is an assumption, because what is likable to you may not be likable to others. Even if we make that assumption, it doesn't appear to them unless there is a consistency and there is a pattern around it. So that's how the algorithm works, and LinkedIn also keeps changing the algorithm. So if you are used to one algorithm, please don't think that that algorithm works for everyone. So I'm bringing you in.
Sure.
Similar question, but how should mid-career and slightly senior professionals also leverage this? Because I think you also work a lot more with that.
So whether you are a mid-career professional or a senior professional, the leadership CXO kind of profile, I think there are 3 or 4 things that essentially that one can look at doing by building a profile on LinkedIn. The first is the ability to network with the right kind of people. Okay. And that should be in tune with your purpose. And with your permission, Anshuman, I just want to share one particular incident that happened with one of my clients. This client is a senior level professional, about 12 to 15 years of work experience, solid credentials, but he was not using LinkedIn very extensively, and he is looking for a job change. So he came to me saying, I've been on LinkedIn for 8, 9 years now. Nothing is happening. I'm not getting jobs, etc., etc. And he had some 2,800 connections. So he agreed that he needed to get better on it. So we took a dump of his 2,800 connections. And then we figured out he hardly had 35 to 40 recruiters on that. And of the 40 recruiters, 10 are not active on LinkedIn at all. And the other 30, he has not made any attempt to keep in touch with them. So it's a platform at the end of the day. Me standing on LinkedIn is not going to get stuff for me. I need to kind of reach out, connect, engage. So if you are a middle level professional, whatever be your purpose, whether it is to get a job, whether it is to build your own brand, whether it is to build relationships, whether it is to share knowledge, content, etc., one needs to connect with the right kind of audience. So that I think is very, very important. The whole thing about me being on LinkedIn, nobody looking at me is like, I mean, I've been in Bombay for the last 15 years. I can't say Karan Johar doesn't come and give me roles because he just doesn't know of my existence. However young and handsome I look, he just doesn't know of my existence. So we need to be, in that space. So essentially, we need to be looking at doing four things. One is seriously networking with the kind of people who tie in with our purpose. That's the first thing. The second is build relationships, and that comes by giving first and then taking. The
And
third is to build our own presence by sharing content, sharing information, sharing knowledge, and build our own presence as we do this. For the CXO kind of profile, while these are important, I think there is another very, very important paradigm that they can use this platform for, and that is connecting with the customers. Because this whole voice of the customer thing is so huge online. I just want to take two examples here. One is of Vikas Purohit of Tata Click and of Tata Sky. They connect so amazingly with customers, reach out to them if they have any challenges. Customers reach out with problems, they connect with them, sort out their issues. It's an amazing platform for CXOs to talk about what they do, what their organization does, what is the brand, connect with their customers, solve a problem, sort out issues, which in turn builds the brand and the confidence of the people in their brand. So that's what I would think is the potential that is available for mid-level professionals and the CXO professionals on LinkedIn.
yeah, I think especially the so category or the senior category, many of them I know I've spoken to tend to think they are beyond this now, either in terms of they don't need it or in terms of they can't learn it, right? So both are not right because, they definitely need it because their customers, as you said, or their potential, employees are on LinkedIn. So I know quite a few recruiters who, the moment they have a candidate, they first check their LinkedIn profile. And many candidates or potential candidates get rejected on LinkedIn profile. So those who are listening, if your purpose was in the 40% who said that you are here for a job or a new job, and your profile doesn't even detail out what you have done, what are the key projects you have been involved in, what chance do you think you have in front of a recruiter who gives you 5 to 6 seconds per profile, right? So most recruiters don't give more than 5 to 6 seconds per profile, and they don't have to because it is quite clear. And one small tip from my side is that if you are on LinkedIn and you don't have a photograph, please delete your profile. It is total of your time. Whatever God gave you in terms of looks, and none of us can bring that too much, And if you are working in a confidential space, you are in a stealth mode, then why be on LinkedIn, right? So it doesn't serve any purpose. A lot of people have spoken to me, and then when I check their profile, they don't have a photograph. You don't have a photograph, I'm totally put off straight away. I don't want to read the rest of the stuff. So that was something that I noticed quite a bit. I don't know why. What could be somebody's motivation to not put a photograph when they have a profile on a professional networking side? Nobody's saying that you put your photograph in beach shots on Goa or Bondi Beach or something. That's not required.
But you will find that. But you'll find that also. But you will find that also.
Yeah, you're right. There are quite a few who don't put enough attention to what photographs they are putting. So first level, of course, is how you present yourself, or whether you present yourself at all, and then how you present yourself. on this platform. And then please include some details in each of your roles that you have. Don't expect the recruiter or the person who is trying to look for some more information about you to be a Sherlock Holmes or a some detective that will figure out based on the few cryptic words that you right. Getting on with the show, and this is probably for both of you. Like all good things, there can be pitfalls or some things that don't work very well. What are your pitfalls that you see of personal branding on LinkedIn?
So there could be several, of course, Anshuman. Not connecting with right people, as previously mentioned by me, and Sriram also very precisely pointed out that networking with right people is so important. So I see a lot of people here who are just, just talking a lot about the number of followers that they have, and they want to take advantage. I have 5,000 plus, and in the headline itself, they are writing 30,000 plus followers, 1 lakh plus followers. So that's not what attracts people. Your number of followers does nothing for you if you are not being benefited in some or other way. So first of all, do not go after followership. Okay? You are here to build relationship for certain kind of, whatever is your purpose for. That's most important. So don't go after numbers, and randomly people connecting with people. They are not customizing their messages. They are simply sending connection requests to people just in order to be in their network, one, or just to increase their follower base. So they think that if I have 5,000, 10,000 people, I will get attention of those people. It just doesn't work. LinkedIn doesn't work like that. And as Sriram mentioned, it is to start by giving first, and then you can expect anything. So if you are not active, your activity is so important. 1 week you are off LinkedIn, it takes time. You have to once again start. So this platform really demands, but I tell you, this platform is so addictive. I love this platform. It's my second home, literally, and I'm there. It's a most beneficial platform for you to build your brand, to get opportunities to connect with like-minded people, and there are so many other stuff that you can do on LinkedIn. However, one, do not go only for followers. Be active, start creating content. And many a times I've seen mid-level and senior level people, or those people who have good follower base. What they do is they do not go and connect or engage with people who are just starting. That's one thing. Okay. And when you think that competitors, they do not connect with competitors also. So me, personal branding coach, another branding coach, I do not go over there, and that person doesn't come and engage on. That's a big mistake that we are doing, because followers are everywhere. They want to see you. Your visibility is so important. So as I was saying earlier also, 60% depends upon your visibility. You being there on LinkedIn doesn't really solve a purpose if you are not visible to people. So who knows you, what they know you about, and how many people know you is the thing actually. So many a times I've seen these mid-level people, they were not there earlier on LinkedIn. So suddenly they start coming on LinkedIn. Post-COVID, especially, this started happening because they were looking for jobs. Or maybe they're not very satisfied and happy with their current profile. They want to change their career, they want to grow. And I connect with a lot of people who feel that they're not happy and satisfied in their current place. Okay. So it's just not about LinkedIn. It's about you showing what you are capable of. And one of such ways which luckily technology has given is we can show this off organically to everybody. So you are an employee sitting there in your office not getting acknowledgement inside, start working outside, connect with people outside. And brands are these days connecting with influencers. They are paying big money to influencers to promote their brand. More than those influencers, employees inside the company become a better brand ambassadors. So you get more 30% extra advantage you have becoming an influencer in your industry, in your company, being an employee, if you become influential here. But for that you need to start creating content, and which most of the people fail. The other thing which I wanted to mention earlier also, all these senior executives, as was mentioned also, they think that they are, they don't need LinkedIn. But very rightly mentioned by Sriram, you need to connect. The those brands whose CEOs and CFOs, they are connecting live with customers and their employees and executives. They build such huge credibility in the market space. And then the other is, they have achieved everything. They're not here now for money. But this is their time as senior professionals to, help their juniors and the mid-level people, guide them, be as a mentor. So you need to establish your thought leadership over here. So that's again a mistake. You thinking that you are not needed. You are the most needed person. Be active. I understand you have stuff. There is a lot of things that are happening and you do not have much time. Give 15, 20 minutes every day to LinkedIn. Write a short, small post so that you can, teach, help, mentor, guide people. So those things that you shouldn't be doing is thinking that you are not needed. You are so needed on LinkedIn. Your activity is much needed. Algorithm works only for active people, and it's not about you simply creating content and expecting people to engage. You need to actually engage with all the other people also. So you create content and you think, okay, about LinkedIn doesn't share your post in front of people. And other important thing is, if you are randomly connecting with people and these people are not active, because LinkedIn shows your post first to the first connection. So if I am connected with 500 people who are not active, my LinkedIn post is going to go to them, but they are not active. My LinkedIn post is going to go, is simply going to die.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn wants engagement in the first 1 hour. The more the people engage, and it will show it to people who really like your kind of content. So go and engage with people. More and more you give, the more and more you get.
So, Sriram, anything you want to add to this?
And I think Sakshi has laid out the entire framework very well. Just a couple of thoughts from my end. Of course, the first is this anchoring around numbers, okay, which is something that is not desirable. The second thing I think all of us need to be careful about is the conduct over there on the platform. And this is something I had put up a couple of probably a week back. Many a time it becomes a wrangling match. Anshuman puts up something, I don't agree with it. I put up a comment, then he says something, I say something. So it sort of dilutes the entire. It has ramifications. It first of all, it's a waste of your time. Second is there is no end to it. It's just a perspective that is being shared by the person. And third is it takes you away from the purpose that you are there on the platform for. So that's one thing I think people need to be careful about. The other thing that I have seen, the last point I want to add is what we do there should be in line with our purpose. There is this tendency to go on with what is trendy. I logged into LinkedIn, I see four people putting dog videos, I immediately put one dog video. I see five people logging in and putting some, they're doing all this funny yoga. I also put one photo of mine doing yoga. It doesn't work that way. They are doing that with a specific purpose. And they are garnering attention because they have credibility in this space. A yoga instructor putting up a yoga picture gets visibility, likes, comments because he or she is credible in this space. Me putting a picture of me doing yoga, honestly, doesn't serve the purpose. So I think we need to not get carried away by this stuff because we are spending time on the platform at the end of the day. So those are a few things I wanted to share.
Sakshi, this is more for you. Since you mentioned algorithms, somebody wanted to know that they have been posting content, but not sure how the algorithm works. Any views on the algorithm? One hint Ram gave that it has to resonate with your own brand. So if the brand credibility, everything is in consonance, then obviously it clicks. And it's very difficult sometimes to find that jigsaw puzzle. What clicks. But anything on that
Yeah,
from
yeah.
an algorithm point of view?
So algorithm, let's not talk about algorithm first of all. Let's talk about the content that you are creating. Okay, so if I'm a personal branding coach and if I talk about yoga, like Shrira mentioned, it makes no sense to my audience. So when you know what niche you are into, what is the thing that you want to have your brand around, and then you know your target audience, it is important for your target audience to understand why you only can help them, why only your post actually resonate with them. It is so important for us to understand that. So if you are creating a random content, people may or may not like it. It's not necessary they like it. How frequently you are creating content, that's also important. Do people really need that kind of a content? So the biggest mistake most people do is that they share what they feel like. It doesn't work that way. You share what your market needs or market demands. Okay, of course you bring in your insight into it. That's extremely needed. However, what is more important is for you to understand that maybe point out the pain points of your clients, customers, your audiences. What are their needs? Where are they stuck? What will help them? Can your post really encourage or motivate them? Or why do you want to create content? So when you draft a content piece, look from the perspective of your target audience, and then read it again, and then see, will anybody want to connect with it? You just sharing something about, you watched a movie and you share that, I really like reading about what you think about that movie. It has to be relevant to your audience needs and demands. That's extremely important. Then, how many of your audiences really know about you? So if you are suddenly creating content, please have patience. It takes a lot of time for you. When I started on LinkedIn, I used to get 4, 5, 7 likes. I think some after 8 months, 7, 8 months or so, my first post went, for me it was viral, 4,000 views. I spread this news across to everybody. And you know what, LinkedIn works, I got 4,000. Now every single post crosses 15,000, 20,000 views. So it's normal for me now. But when I started getting 5, 10, 15 likes, and seeing 100 people viewed, 2,000 people viewed, it's amazing. But you have to give time to LinkedIn for understanding why you are here, who are going to be the audiences, is your audience really liking your content or not? If not, then you are, the LinkedIn algorithm will not work. And then please do keep in mind the kind of people you are connected with. If they are, the first degree connection is not active, your post is not going to go ahead.
Sure. Thanks, Akshay. But Santosh, I think learning from Sriram, and it is extremely important to start and stay connected to your why. What are you? Why are you posting that content? Does it resonate with your brand, your audience? Right. Random posting does not create any brand credibility. Like, I'll give my example. When I started, this was not as focused as it is now. I started in general. I initially started myself speaking. Then I figured out that the world is larger. There are more skill sets, more experts. I can bring all of that together. I definitely realized that I had the advantage, and I'm very, very conscious about how I say this. I did realize that I have some connections built over time, and people did remind me that if you have these connections, you can bring in them to your platform. Knowledge actually multiplies, right? So it is, the knowledge is not growing sitting in everybody's mind where it is. It will multiply, right? So I made it my purpose in some ways to bring people who have this skill set on the show for about an hour, and then see where it goes, right? So that kind of thing.
Yeah, when you mention this thing that knowledge doesn't grow inside our head, this is a great tip that I want to share with everyone, that yes, please go ahead, create content which can help other people learn something. So you are knowledgeable in your, so when we say that you need to identify your niche, you need to build your brand, you need to start projecting yourself as an expert in one certain domain. Okay, that's your niche. So I have to keep projecting myself and keep learning and keep sharing my knowledge as a personal branding, career branding coach. So who you are, when you identify who you are, maybe you are just a starter, you are just a fresher, you have no idea and you are here for jobs. So the best way for you to start is showing your skill sets, your talents, your experiences with people, the knowledge that you have gained in the industry, across industry, or any other thing that is going to be relevant for recruiters to judge that you are probably a right candidate. If you are a mid-level employee, share your experiences, share the experiences of your clients and customers, the learnings you have had, the relationships you are building, anything that will relate to the market audience or the right recruiters who want to see the kind of skills you have. So when we talk about knowledge, do not let the knowledge sit in your head. Whatever you have, lay it out in a post, and it could be various posts. You can start creating podcasts, like Anshuman is going to be creating a podcast of this also. Okay, we're going live, go live, create videos, write posts, create creatives on Canva and a lot of other places. Just start, do. You will fail, which is okay. You're going to learn and observe influencers in your industry. They are going to give you the right insight as to what kind of a content you should be creating.
Thanks, Akshay. Sriram, questions which are mostly around recruitment. So people do want to reach out to recruiters. I think partly we answered that personal branding is all about recruiters reaching out to you and not you reaching out to you. Make your brand so strong that recruiters will reach out to you. But there will be these situations where you do want to reach out to recruiters. So anything on that?
Okay, so my take is this: it works both ways. As much as I stand out and recruiters fall over one another and reach out to me, it also makes sense for me to reach out to recruiters. I do not see anything wrong in that. So that's the first part. The second part is it is quite likely that all that I try to reach out to may not connect, which is fine. That's okay. That's part of the game. So if I send 10 connections, probably only, even today, if I send connections to 10 people, probably only 7 accepted. That's perfectly fine. So my personal view is it works both ways. As much as others reaching out to us. See, even if we are building our own brand, we create content, and we are regular, we are visible, etc., etc. Unless we take the step ahead, a step forward to reach out to people, I don't think this entire game of personal branding would work.
Yeah, and we are towards the end of the show. Sakshi, I know that you do these workshops and sessions as well, right? So a little bit about that. What do you do and how can people reach out to you?
Okay. So thank you. I conduct masterclasses twice a week usually. Okay, Wednesdays and Sundays. The purpose of this masterclass, I mean, I've been doing it for almost a year now. Helped more than 5,000 people who have attended the masterclasses. So my purpose is to help them right from the scratch to whatever they are expecting. So it's all about what is personal branding, why it is needed, and how to build a brand. So these are the three things that I help them with, and they take the journey forward. But yeah, everybody can get connected with me on LinkedIn, and under my profile, they will find my masterclass link also.
Sure. So just to add, I think Sakshi is quite humble about this, but her workshops are quite popular. My suggestion always is that when you reaching out to people, first follow them. That's always better because you may not know people enough to connect straight away, but following gives you the same advantage as a connection, just that you don't necessarily need to know.
And one thing that they can do is, if whosoever they want to reach, not just us, but anybody else, please please write a customized message to them why they want to connect with them. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you have watched us here and you want to connect, just mention that we have watched your LinkedIn and that's why you want to connect with us. And otherwise, also, if you want to connect with anybody, please make sure that you have a solid reason to connect with them, because there will be a lot of random connects and people do not really connect with them. So the chances increases if you write a proper customized message mentioning the reason why you want to connect.
That's a very fair one because usually post every show, quite a few connections come in to my speakers, and I always remind people that please let them know that you are connecting with connection to this show. Then they know that there is something that ties you to them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are nobody, and which is okay. Some people do accept, but quite a few people are very particular about whom they accept in their network. Anything from your side on what workshops or anything that you do?
Sure, Anshuman. I think, see, I approach this entire presence on LinkedIn, and that's something I call the persuasive LinkedIn presence. So I delve on three aspects which I think are extremely important. The first is the mindset, the second is the skill set, and the third is the tool set. LinkedIn at the end of the day is a tool,
Yeah.
and most of us know what features it has, right? So that's at the bottom. What is important is how do we develop the mindset to be on this platform and mine it to our advantage? What are the skills we ought to have? And what are the tools that we need to use both within and outside LinkedIn to, get a presence here? So I do these sessions. This is a 45-day program, okay? And I'll be starting the next batch in August. So for those who are interested to know more, you can connect with me, drop me a message, and I'll be happy to engage with you so that we could discuss how this particular program works. And yes, it will require a bit of investment, quite a bit of investment of time from your end. It's a 45-day duration program.
Guys, everybody hear me out loud and clear. It will take time for you to learn how to create content, learn how to connect with people. You need to give yourself time, and please go to all the mentors who are available who have been through this journey, and you are definitely going to get benefited. Have patience with LinkedIn. It's a gold mine.
Well said. I hope everybody in the last an hour or so got a good window into how to use personal branding. You are your personal brand. If you are not going to work on your personal brand, nobody else will. Even PR agencies, those who can hire, they will also ask you to do some stuff yourself. So You are your own PR agency. If you are somebody who can hire a PR agency for your own work, chances are you are not on this show, right? So you wanted some tips from people who have learned, through their experiment. Like Sakshi mentioned, she has learned all this organically. Sriram has learned all this organically. I am a good example. I told you a 15-year journey, and that reveals my age a little bit. But there are lots and lots of people, and do follow people who are role models in your area. What is the audience you want to reach out to? If that's like the content I bring in, I always make sure that there is some resonance, some connection with my theme. I am not trying to do a show a week or show a month. That's not my purpose at all. I work on some topic, I bring the right guest, and then, hopefully it helps people. So that's the advice we can give. I think both speakers gave that advice. With that, I took 1 hour from you, but any closing comments from both of you, Sriram?
So I will just close with this, Anshuman, and this is something that I keep telling all those who connect with me and talk about the platform, etc. It's a fantastic platform. It's a great opportunity to be, as I said right at the beginning, seen and heard. Okay. So there are just four things, 4 R's as I call them, that we need to keep in mind always when we are on this platform. The first is we need to be real. There's no point trying to be who we are not. When we are real, it becomes easy for us to become relatable to people, because that's what this is all about. The platform is all about being relatable. Relatable takes us to the third R, which is being respectful. It's a professional networking site. We need to be respectful. And the fourth, of course, is we need to be responsible about what we share. Because if we talk about ourselves as a brand, as much as there are some rights that we seek from the platform, there are duties too. So if we are real, if we are reachable, if we are respectful, and if we are relatable and responsible, I think we are kind of, on the path. And personal branding is not something that will stop with 493 things.
Yeah.
It is an ongoing journey. It has to keep going on. It's an ongoing journey. We just need to be patient with the whole world, and more importantly, patient with ourselves. That's all I want to share.
Sakshi, anything in closing from you?
So my purpose is to help everyone build an appealing, authentic, and profitable brand. So it's important, as mentioned already by Sriram, that you need to be real. So you need to be your authentic self. That's how people connect. So I do not want everyone to connect with me. Those who can resonate with me, those who find me authentic in what I'm doing, please connect with me. It's okay. You can move on, connect with someone else. So your authenticity is of utmost importance here. Your appeal, your brand appeal is so critical today. How you appear on screen, how you write your content appeal, your voice appeal, every single thing appeals. People, you need to become likable for people. If people like you, they give you opportunities and chances, and for that you need to work on yourself, most importantly. So your appeal, your brand appeal, as mentioned by Anshuman earlier, your picture is important. The way you're creating your headline, you're creating your about section, everything. People should feel like, oh my god, who is this person, let me connect with this person. So think that this is a bamboo that you are sowing. It is going to shoot out and it is going to give result to you, but you need to give time to yourself, give time to this content. With the technological advancements that we are seeing right now, believe me, machines are going to take over. We are just left with the human relationships. The better the relationships now you start building, it is going to reap you great benefits later. So with that, I thank you so much, Anshuman, for having me over. Thank you so much, Sriram. It was amazing talking to both of you. And I'm sure this is going to last a long, long, long time, our relationship. Thank you so much, everyone.
It's a wrap, and I will let everybody go. Thank you, Sakshi. It's an honor and pleasure to be on this show with you.
Thank you so much, Anshuman. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and take care.
Thank you.